Why are so many people moving to the San Fernando Valley region of Los Angeles? Now, I made the move to Encino, which is part of the valley, about 6 years ago. I grew up in West LA, so I was very familiar with what the valley had to offer, and I had my personal reasons, which I'm going to share in this video. I'm also going to share about my past clients' experience, neighbors, friends, of why they chose to move to the valley. Now, in general, the valley offers a lot of opportunity. It's got great weather. It's close to a lot of amenities in Los Angeles. You get an outdoor lifestyle. It's very welcoming to all cultures. And what's unique is you get a suburban lifestyle, which is fairly rare in the Los Angeles city area. So if you want that quieter lifestyle, something away from all the hustle and bustle, the San Fernando Valley provides that escape. It provides that suburban lifestyle while being part of the Los Angeles community. Also, where else can you get up in the morning, hit the surf, go to the beach, be a beach bum in the morning, and then in that same day head out to the ski slopes in Big Bear and go skiing for the day? It is a rare thing. Now, if you live in Los Angeles in general, you have that opportunity, and the valley is no exception. But today's video is specifically about why people are moving to the San Fernando region, and we're going to get into that. If you want to know why people are moving to the Los Angeles, city of Los Angeles, check out our other video, What's Making People Move to Los Angeles. First on our list is going to be the entertainment industry. It is a big draw for people moving to the Los Angeles area, and specifically the San Fernando Valley area. Now, I know when you think entertainment industry, movies, TV production, you think probably Hollywood, or maybe even parts of Beverly Hills, or other parts of Los Angeles. And you don't really think San Fernando Valley. It may not even be on your radar. But the reality is that there are many, many major studios and smaller studios peppered throughout the San Fernando Valley area, especially in the Burbank area, which is kind of fun. It's known as the media capital of the world. And for good reason. When we're talking about, we've got Universal Studios, we've got Warner Brothers, we've got Disney Studios, CBS, NBC, and hundreds of other smaller productions, post-production, digital production, content creation, massive amounts of studios all in the San Fernando Valley area. So it's natural for people moving to the greater LA area to want to be living close to those studios, so you're not really dealing with massive amounts of commute time. And also living around kind of like-minded people, or people that are interested in the same things that you are. So you do see and find a lot of industry people living in the San Fernando Valley, and not just on the behind the camera stuff or in the studios. There's plenty of actors and actresses that live in the valley that tend to live in the hills, like Sherman Oaks, Encino, Studio City, parts of North Hollywood, Woodland Hills. Heads of productions, producers, directors, all of them are living within the San Fernando Valley hills. Now, I'm not saying just because they're living here, you've got to live there. It's not any reason that it's not a reason why I chose to move to the valley. But I'm just saying, if you're somebody that is into the industry and you're in that business, the San Fernando Valley is a great place to live because you have access to so many studios. And if you need to drop into Hollywood, you can just commute over the hills, taking Coldwater Canyon or Laurel Canyon, and that'll take you into kind of the Hollywood area. Fun little fact, I have a house in the Encino Village neighborhood of Encino, and that actually used to be a movie studio. That whole neighborhood used to be a movie studio, RKO Studios, where they filmed such movies as It's a Wonderful Life and Hunchback of Notre Dame, along with others. Now, again, that is not any reason why I chose to move to that area, but it just shows you that the San Fernando Valley just has a long history of being involved with the entertainment industry. As a reminder, I'm Dave Fine with the Real Estate Dads, a real estate agent right here in Los Angeles. Love doing videos of what it's like to live, work, and play in the city of LA and surrounding neighborhoods. Make sure you subscribe, tap the bell to get notified for new videos, hit the like button if you like what you see, comment below, love to hear from my viewers. More than that though, my team and I love helping people move to and relocate to this awesome city. So if that is something that you're thinking of, hit us up with a phone call, text, email, all the information's below and probably on this video somewhere. And we'll make sure to have your back when you move to the city of LA. Number 2 on the list of what makes people move to the San Fernando Valley is that it promotes an active and outdoor lifestyle. Now, that's something that personally drew me and my wife to making the move to the Encino neighborhood of the San Fernando Valley area. We love the outdoors. We like being active. We're going to be raising a family, and that's just stuff that we like to do. Now, what makes the San Fernando Valley unique and open to all these activities is that it's literally surrounded by hills and mountains. That's what creates the valley. So you've got Santa Monica Mountains, you've got the Hollywood Hills, Santa Susana Mountains, and the San Gabriel Mountains, all surrounding the valley area. So it gives you plenty of opportunity to hit up all sorts of hiking trails. Now, you're not going to be skiing there. There's no snow there, really. Maybe parts of the San Gabriel, but for the most part, you're not doing any of that type of activities. But what you are doing is, if you're someone that loves to take advantage of being outside, hiking the trails. You can get great ocean views if you hike up to the ridge caps of some of these hills and mountains. But just in general, it's like a 10-minute drive depending on where you live, and you're right there in the hills, and you're right there at some cool trailheads. And they have trails for all sorts of levels, easy, moderate to somewhat challenging. And even more unique is that if you live in the hills like Sherman Oaks, Encino, Tarzana, Studio City, you have direct access to these trailheads. You can literally just walk out your door, walk a couple blocks or walk for 5 minutes, and you're at some random trailhead. And they've got all of these trails kind of peppered throughout the hills and throughout the mountains. And I actually think that's pretty unique to Los Angeles if you consider the entire city, that the San Fernando Valley has that to offer, whereas other parts of the city don't. So if you're into hiking and being outdoors, San Fernando Valley's got your back. Now, also, there's plenty of other reasons that it promotes outdoor activities. One being a huge park system. You've got parks in pretty much every neighborhood throughout the entire San Fernando Valley. And you've got a large park called the Lake Balboa and the Sepulveda Sports Complex, man-made lake, bike paths, running trails, picnic areas, playgrounds. There's sports courts, soccer fields, baseball fields, you name it, it has it there. And it's just kind of right in the middle of the San Fernando Valley, pretty close to Ventura Boulevard. So now that's kind of in the western portion of the valley. And if you're in the eastern portion of the valley, you've got the Hanson Dam Park area and rec area. They've got swimming pools. They've got recreational lakes where you can fish, do a little bit of boating, equestrian centers, again, playground, lots of places just to relax. And they've got some sports fields there. So different portions of the valley will offer you different park systems, but they're all great. And if you're living in the really western portion of the San Fernando Valley by Woodland Hills or Calabasas, you have access to the Topanga State Park, which is an incredible hillside area where it actually connects the valley to the beach, to the ocean through Topanga Boulevard. And throughout there, you've got great hiking trails, as well as some great recreation around there. So, and for me, anytime I'm out in the neighborhood, I'm seeing people run, I'm seeing people jog, they're walking. People are outdoors quite a bit in the valley. A lot of that has to do with the great weather just in Los Angeles in general. And in the summers, although it gets really hot, and I'll talk about this later in the video, in the summers it does get really hot, but there are some positives to it. Again, stay tuned and I'll give you reasons why it's okay when it's triple digits and you're living in the valley. Aside from that, bike paths, you're going to see a lot of wide streets and bike paths all throughout the San Fernando Valley. I'd say more so there than many, many other parts of the Los Angeles area. So if you are someone that likes to bike or run along a bike path, you've got that for you. And they have this really cool bike path that runs along the Orange Line, which is a bus line connecting the western portion of the valley to the eastern portion of the valley. And along that bus line, you've got a bike path, and there are just constantly people that are taking advantage of that. So, and it connects you throughout the valley. So that's pretty unique in itself as well. In addition, you've got these pop-up yoga studios that are in the parks. You've got people doing meditation in the parks. You just see people embracing what's ingrained in the lifestyle of living in the San Fernando Valley. Okay, number 3 in the list of what's making people move to the San Fernando region of Los Angeles is the housing affordability. Now, it is not the least expensive area of all of Los Angeles. I'd say that's probably more in your mid-city area. But you're going to find it to be more crowded, more congested, and the homes are going to tend to be a little bit smaller. So if you're looking for something that's more suburban, bigger homes, and not paying the cost of housing along the coast, like in parts of West LA or along the beach, or if you're in the eastern portions, like closer to the downtown area, then the San Fernando Valley area is something that you should really take a look at. And it is actually one of the more motivating factors for my wife and I when we were deciding to buy our first house. Now, again, we lived on West LA, where housing, I wouldn't say is double, but it was close to it. And we just realized we can get so much more living in the valley, and that was one of the big deciding factors. Now, I'm going to go over some of the numbers. Now, the San Fernando Valley is large. Each region, each neighborhood of the San Fernando Valley commands different prices. So if you want more information, make sure you do reach out, and I'll be happy to explain the pricing for the different areas. In general, for the San Fernando Valley, for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, you're looking at a median price point of $975,000. And if you're looking for a condo, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, you're looking at a median price of $585,000. Now, as I mentioned, I'm not going to go in every region, but I will tell you it is going to be more expensive the closer you are to Ventura Boulevard, because Ventura Boulevard is the heart, it is the corridor that connects the eastern portion and western portion of the valley. It's where most of your great restaurants and your shopping and your amenities are going to be located when living in the valley. And so you're going to see the prices go up because the median price there is going to be about 1.5 million for a single family home, and for a condo it's going to be a median price of $650,000. Another good rule of thumb to know when it comes to housing prices in the San Fernando Valley and the affordability index is going to be that the further out on the edges you are of the valley, the more expensive it's going to be. There's a couple reasons for that, and that's because it is those areas are closer to your freeways, the 101 freeway, the 405 freeway, the 118 and the 5, and because of that, more of the valley was developed, and you're going to have just more of an appeal. And if you're living in the center portion of the valley, it just takes that much longer to get where you need to go if you're venturing out of your neighborhood. So again, outer edge going to be more expensive, along Ventura Boulevard more expensive, and then of course if you're in the hills, that's where you're going to find your priciest homes. Now, I know to outsiders, if you're not from Los Angeles, these prices seem wildly insane, especially for what you get. But I will say, and again, I'm going to show you that it's not nearly as expensive when living like in West LA or parts of the coast. So compared to if you chose West Los Angeles, you're looking at a median price for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home to be $2 million. And if you're looking for a condo, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, you're looking at a median price of $1 million. Now let's compare that to Santa Monica, because Santa Monica is probably somewhere you've heard of. For a single family home, median price is about $3.8 million. And if you're talking Beverly Hills, which everyone's heard of Beverly Hills, a single family home median price is about $5.6 million. So you can see the big differences. And again, when you're living in the valley, you are going to get a larger home, probably a larger piece of land, quieter lifestyle. You're not in the mix of it. So again, if you are looking for being right in the thick of things, right where all your entertainment is, you like the hustle and bustle, then maybe the San Fernando Valley is not going to be the right place for you. But a lot of people move to the San Fernando Valley because they don't necessarily want to be part of that. Even when people are living within Los Angeles, and that's something that we were kind of done with that phase of our life. We weren't looking to go clubbing all the time or going to the bars, or we didn't really need that to be part of our lifestyle. It wasn't what we were looking for. And then with raising a family, priorities were changing, and we just wanted to be away from it all. We didn't want to move outside of the city of LA necessarily, but we just wanted something that's a little bit more quiet and more peaceful. And that's going to lead us to our fourth item on the list, and that is the suburban lifestyle. And again, that is one of the other big reasons of why my wife and I chose to live in the San Fernando Valley.
And it's in the valley.
Growing up in West Los Angeles when I was a kid, there was kids bike riding outside. People were just out and about. It was quiet. It was kind of peaceful. There wasn't a lot of tourism where I was growing up in parts of West LA. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's always people going to the beach, but it wasn't as congested. There wasn't as many people, and it just felt like I could still breathe. Now, growing up, things changed. A lot more people were moving to West Side, especially as Silicon Beach grew in popularity, and with all the tech companies and more people coming into that region for a living. And many parts of Los Angeles are like that. A lot more vertical building, high-rise condos, mid-rise condos, more density. Well, when you look at the map, if you look at Google Maps, you'll see that in the San Fernando Valley area, there really isn't any of that. Maybe along Ventura Boulevard and Sherman Oaks, you're going to see some of these mid-rise buildings, multifamily buildings coming up. For the most part, it is the epitome of suburban life. Lots and lots of single-family or just residential homes. It's quieter, it's more laid back, you're not in the middle of it, it's less crowded, parking is a lot easier, parking is free most of the time, you're not stuck in as much traffic as you are in other parts of Los Angeles. Not to say that you won't be stuck, especially if you need to commute out of the valley to get to your work. You're going to be living the nightmare on the freeway systems, but in general, it's just a little bit less congested. It actually reminds me of how Los Angeles or parts of West LA used to be when I was growing up. I'm part of block parties. I see kids just riding their bikes and scooters all around the neighborhood, walking their dogs, just people being very neighborly and friendly in many parts of the valley. At least it's been my experience. Pools are a very big part of the lifestyle in the San Fernando Valley. So everyone's just kind of chilling, kicking back by the poolside, doing a barbecue. And that's just the way it is when you live in the valley. And that's something that was very appealing to my wife and I when we were thinking about making the move. That's what we wanted. We wanted to just chill. We didn't necessarily need to be entertained constantly or need that right at our fingertips, although a lot of that is still close to us. It's where you're going to find people that have more interest in probably just being at the park or spending a day at the park or spending the day at a hiking trail rather than kind of gearing up for that bar or the club or the super high-end restaurants. Now, again, don't get me wrong, along Ventura Boulevard especially, You do find all of that in Woodland Hills and Sherman Oaks, Studio City. There is an entertainment factor. So if you are kind of want maybe a mix of the kind of being in the hustle of Los Angeles and still want that suburban lifestyle, you may want to be in places like Sherman Oaks, Studio City, North Hollywood, even Burbank. A little bit more of the east, going towards the eastern portion of the San Fernando Valley. That's where you'll find a nice mix. And then plus you can just go right over the hill into Beverly Hills and Hollywood, West Hollywood, and you'll really have all the entertainment right at your fingertips. If you want something that's a bit more quieter, then you'll be more on the western ends or even the northern ends of the San Fernando Valley. All right, number 5 on the list of what makes people want to move to the San Fernando Valley is the culture and diversity that you can experience here in the Valley. Now, you'll experience that in pretty much all portions of Los Angeles, but I do think the Valley certainly has it all, and maybe even more so, because so many people have moved to the Valley from all different parts of the world that you have a real good blend of these communities. Whereas in other parts of LA, you may have these specific neighborhoods and specific communities that are dedicated to maybe a certain culture, or a lot of people from a certain area are living in this particular pocket of LA. But if you go to the San Fernando Valley, you don't necessarily have that. It's all throughout the Valley. And what I love about that is I can go in any region, any neighborhood, and find all sorts of great food from all over the world. I can meet people from all over the world. I can experience cultural events that you'll find at many parks, some of the cultural centers here, the museums that we have here. It's all right there for you. And I think it just brings another dynamic to the way you live, and just being exposed to all of that and learning from people and being able to share my culture with friends and with neighbors, and also having our kids grow up around that. It just kind of gives you that worldly view, which again, if that's something that you're not into, then no worry, you don't have to participate. But if you are, it's right there for you. Now, in addition to being exposed to so many cultures and diversity, there are a lot of cultural destinations, including the Skirball Museum, the Getty Museum's all right there. You've got several missions within the San Fernando Valley. You have historical buildings throughout the valley. You also have California State University of Northridge, which has become very well known and popular for their performance center. And they bring troops from all over the world, all over the country, to give live performances, whether it's dance or plays. So that adds to the kind of the cultural attaché of the living in the valley. So when you combine all of these experiences with all the different types of people that live here, I just find it to be an enriching experience living in the San Fernando Valley. All right, number 6 on the list of what's making people move to the San Fernando Valley is the weather. Now, there's a little bit of, not controversy, but mixed emotions on how you feel about the weather in the San Fernando Valley, and it really depends on where you're moving from. If you're living in Los Angeles already, and especially in the parts of West LA, you'd probably say there's no way I want to move to the San Fernando Valley because it is way too hot during the spring and summer for me, and I don't quite get the cool off as much as I want during the fall. And all of that is true. That's an adjustment that I had to make. Prior to moving to the valley, I lived about 10-15 miles away on the west side, and it was about 10 to 20 degrees cooler. And that does make a difference when you are talking the summer heat. But if you're not from the LA area or other parts of coastal living along California, then the valley has some great weather. You don't have to deal with crazy snowstorms. You're not chiseling ice off your windows. You're not dealing with sleet and ice while trying to walk or drive. You're not dealing with heavy rain monsoons. You're not dealing with tornadoes. You're not dealing with hurricanes. So with all that said, the San Fernando Valley area does actually provide some really nice weather throughout. During the spring and summer, you're looking at about 70 degrees to all the way up to 120. Now, I will say, you're not getting to that 120 often, maybe a few days, but you are going to hit triple digits, and there's no getting around that. 90s for sure. You're going to hit triple digits probably for couple of weeks, and it could be quite stifling. Now, during the fall and winter, you're probably looking, upper 50s to maybe the 70s, or maybe touch the 80s as well, depending. Now, those are your daytime temperatures, but I will say, as far as sunny days goes, you probably have about 300 days of sun in the San Fernando Valley. You get some May gray and some June gloom every year, but outside of that, it is sunny and it is nice because it, again, if you're into being outdoors and just hanging out outside in your own backyard, it really lends that opportunity. When you're in other parts, and I've experienced it, it's raining or gray or gloomy or too cold to be outside, it can get kind of depressing, but you're not going to experience that in the San Fernando Valley. That sun is out. The only thing you will experience on those hot days is probably not wanting to be outside, or at least being in the shade, because those triple digits can be quite hard to deal with. But what I like about the weather here is that, again, if you have family, if you've got kids like we do, just sending them outside, letting them be outside, giving you some breathing room, giving you some space to be on your own, or maybe they're inside and you go outside. Either way, it gives you extra use of your property throughout most of the year. And that's what I really enjoy, being in those barbecues, going on the pool, just hanging out, grilling outside, doing the block parties year round. It really lets you do all the things that you want to do year round, whether it's hiking, playing ball, just going for a nice bike ride, going for a run, or just in general. You know what it's like if you're living in parts where it rains a lot during the fall, winter, or snows. Kind of just getting in and out of your car, doing errands, it becomes a little bit more of a chore. You kind of hesitate to actually do things, where when it's sunny out, you got a little bit more pep in your step, you're a little bit happy, you got a smile on your face. It makes a big difference. Just not only that, but your vitamin D levels, there's something about the sunlight that I think just gives you an extra oomph of happiness, for lack of better description. At least that's what it is for me, my family, and a lot of people that we've worked with, and our clients' friends. They all say the same thing, especially when they move from other parts that don't get to quite enjoy that experience. Now, I mentioned earlier in the video that you can have some advantages to these really hot days and hot times during the summer, and I still stand by that, because during those times you can hang out all night in your backyard. It's 70 degrees out and you can chill 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. You're just hanging out by a fire pit, or by the pool, and it's late and it just feels comfortable. You're in a shorts and a t-shirt. Or if you're someone that likes to run and work out in the morning, you don't need to bundle up or shiver your way through your workout or your run. You can go outside and it's maybe 6, 7 in the morning and it's already 70 degrees. That's pretty comfortable. And again, all of this just encourages you to be outdoors, and I love taking advantage of that, taking advantage of the weather in the San Fernando Valley. Now, there's a lot of reasons why people make the move to the San Fernando Valley region of Los Angeles, whether it's the items on my list or family or friends. I'm curious to see what you're considering, why you're making the move to the San Fernando Valley area or Los Angeles in general. I'm happy I did make the move. I actually have had a great experience and loved it there. Met so many great people, and it just really had that suburban lifestyle that I was looking for while staying in the city of Los Angeles. So if you like what you saw, make sure you subscribe, tap the bell to get notified, make comments below. Love to hear from everyone that's watching this video. And again, my team and I love helping people relocate to Los Angeles. So if you are thinking about doing that, reach out, text, phone, email, and we've got your back when moving to LA.